Li Ming opened the curtain and came in. When the count saw it, he said, "Li Rixon is here." Li Ming kowtowed to the ground. Simon King asked, "Why doesn't Wu Hua come?" You don't even know the words cherry jade and pity fragrance. Bantu and little you are like flowers. You pity them and they become more and more beautiful, spirit. If you beat him sitting down and dare to do Ba Sheng Ganzhou, he will be emaciated and it will be difficult to survive. Simon King smiled and said, "It's still my Xiao principle." After singing, "Look at the late arrival." Exactly. The golden crow gradually sets in the western mountains, and the jade rabbit looks at the upper painting. Beauties come to deliver news. But the moon shines through the screen window and the pillow is cold. Dan and Ping'an put flowers in a bucket. To platoon soldiers held poles to block idlers and prevented them from crowding forward. After a while, the blue sky became quiet and a bright moon rose in the east. People on the street were very busy. But they saw it's just that the two of them pushed the wine over. They were all still laughing and joking. I don't know what they were laughing at. Huo also died, and he was reduced to ashes. When Yuxiao saw him scolding him, she was so frightened that she didn't dare to speak and walked back. The panicked scholar walked up to him and replied, "I was sifting wine on the small brazier." They all look like ghosts and don't know what they are busy with. I can see it with half an eye. Yingchun, Yuxiao, and Langshang all put on their clothes and were neatly dressed. She came out but didn't dare to go. Chumai just sat there and didn't move. Seeing that sister-in-law by sent her eldest son to invite her again, the book boy said, "I'll just scold you a few times and wait until I go up to report it to my sister." Click here to ask no questions. Simon King called the musicians and said, "Listen to me every time you play a set of Dongfeng Liao Kiao and good things are near." Playing, singing and drinking are not a problem here. It is said that Dian and Chen Jingji were armed with many fireworks and asked to platoons to carry to lanterns and went to Wu Dajin's house to pick up Yunyang. Everyone was drinking in the open room when they saw Chen Jingji coming and said, "Teach your second uncle and brother-in-law to sit in the room. Your uncle is not at home today. He is watching the bookmaking in the guard." Yunyang was annoyed with him, so she didn't say anything to answer him. Wu Dajinzi called Dinger and said, "Get something to eat with Dinger." Lai Dinger said, "Wine, meat, soup and rice are all laid out in front of us." Wu Yunyang said, "Why are you so busy? We just came here and we ate with him. I taught him to stand in front, and I got up every time." Wu Dajinzi said, "Why are you so worried? Miss 3, why do you come here to blame others? On the occasion of the festival, everyone is sitting happily in the sister's room. There are his second mother and his elder sister at home. What are you afraid of? It's so early, I want to go home. It's another thing to say it's someone else's home." Anne said, "Ever since I had a birthday party with Wu Niang, it has been hard to go home. Grandma Jin picked me up here yesterday and taught me how to clean up the door. Come sit down. If you are in good times, why don't you kowtow to your old man?" Jin Lian said, "Sister Yu Lu Niang is uncomfortable. If you sing well to him, he will not be annoyed with you." Li Pinger just smiled and said nothing. Sister Yu said, "It doesn't matter. Bring me the pipa and wait for me to sing." Lai Anner said from the side, "It's cold and snowing outside." Meng Yulu said, "Sister, are you wearing something thin? I brought a cotton-padded jacket. Isn't it cold this time in the night?" The piano boy didn't ask any questions and just went home. After a while, Yunyang remembered that Jin Lian had no fur coat, so she asked Lai Anner, who took the fur coat. Lian said, "The piano boy took it." Yunyang said, "You didn't even ask me. Just went." Yulu said, "I just made a short sentence. You shouldn't teach him to take what's mine. His fifth wife doesn't have a fur coat, so she can only take what's her sister's." Yunyang said, "Why not? I still have a leather jacket from someone else." Just take it and wear it with Sixth sister, because he asked, why didn't that slave Dan go, but let this slave go? You asked him to come. While calling Dan to the front, Kai Yunyang tried her best to curse a few times and said, good slave, I made you come. Why didn't you move? You sat on the altar and dispatched the generals again, and sent that slave. He didn't ask me anything, and he went without knowing it. No wonder you are a high official. I'm afraid that you will be tempted to spread your wings, so I just sent him. Go. Diane said, Mom made the mistake of blaming me if my mother told me to go. How dare I not go? Come and settle down. I just told you to go to a family, Yunyang said. Then, little slave Anne, dare I give you orders? I'm a big wife, but I don't dare to do it to you. Why are slaves like you so used to being so rude now? Come to Master Yangtzen's Buddha statue hanging on the wall. There are benefactors and monks. You said that you are very active, tongue-tied with both ends, dedicated to the best, external and internal, so lazy and greedy, secretly cheating from the official. I don't know what you did. You know? It's not up to the young one to keep the girl. It doesn't matter what the young one does. Yunyang was furious and scolded. You are a thief slave, and you still talk about it. I don't want to be here to have an affair with you. You slave, take off your clothes. The neck fell to Huan Tiyang, replaced with, I kept moving and kept talking. I don't believe that I won't tell him tomorrow. Beat this deceitful slave to you. I don't wear a fur coat, so he brought my coat from home. Come on, it's good or bad. Just like a yellow dog's skin, if you wear it on your body and make people laugh, it won't last long. And it will be redeemed later. Yunyang said, this fur coat is not for sale. It was bought by Li Zhishao for 16 taels of silver. The leather jacket in Wang Zhaoxuan's mansion was worn by Li Jiar. Because he told Diane, the leather jacket is in the cupboard. I asked Yu Xiao to find it for you, so I brought my eldest sister's leather jacket too. Diane came out with his mouth full, and Chen Jingji asked, where are you going? Dan said, essence is a living thing. Live it once and do it twice. Diane said, I didn't come, but the young one came to get a leather jacket. After saying that, he walked back. Sister-in-law Bai said, yeah, there's nothing to say. Why are you so weird waiting for someone to come to your door? Then she called Han Huizi's wife. You are my neighbor. Just like the deputy boss, the third aunt, the fourth aunt. Why are you sitting here alone, like a guest? He also called the eldest sister. Come sift the wine and pour some for your third aunt to eat. Your fourth aunt Zhang can pour a little more, Lan Xiang said. I can't eat it myself, sister-in-law Bai said. Your sisters are hungry today and don't have anything delicious to eat. Don't make fun of me. I'm going to call my husband today to sing and drink with the girls, but I'm afraid my father will listen. It's a shallow house. Say no. It's my little family's suffering. With that said, Qin Tunger knocked on the door, and everyone was speechless. Chang'er asked, who is it? Qin Tong said, it's me, Sister Shun is speaking. The door opened and the piano boy came in. Yu Xiao then asked, Mother is here. The piano boy looked at her with a smile and remained silent for a long time. Yu Xiao said, who is the one who blames the female teeth for you? You don't say anything when you ask. Qin Tong said, Xiao Yu said, I will ask you for it. Yu Xiao said, do you believe that little whore? He doesn't know what happened, Chan Mai said. Every time you have a fur coat, send it to him. And Xiao Wan from the upper room were wrapped in fur coats and handed over to him. Just as he was walking out with it, he met Dan and asked, what are you doing here? Dan said, you're still talking about it. I came here because of you. It's for nothing that the aunt scolded me. Then she asked me to come. Get Wan Yang's leather jacket, Qin Tong said. I'm going to take Liu Niang's fur coat now. Diane said, you took it, and you are still waiting for me here. I will go back in a while. It doesn't matter if you go first, but you will make the aunt scold me again. After saying that, Diane came to the upper room. Xiao Yu was on the king warming herself by the fire on the stove, eating melon seeds. When she saw Diane, she asked, are you here too? Diane said, you're telling me that I'm so angry here. Mother said I was going to send you away. General, because Wu Niang didn't have a fur coat. She asked me to come and said that there was a fur coat that Li Sanjin had folded in the big cupboard, so I could take it. Xiao Yu said. Yu Xiao took the key to the inner door. He was drinking at Bensi's house. Let him get it, Diane said. The piano boy went to Liu Niang's room to get his fur coat. Then he came and asked him to go. I'll rest my legs and warm myself by the fire. Xiao Yu then asked the Kang Tu to sit side by side with Xiang Huo. Xiao Yu said, there is wine in the pot. Do you want to eat it? Diane said, it's good to know. I'll see if you take it. The piano boy put down his felt bag and walked to Bensi's house to call Yu Xiao. Yu Xiao scolded. Thief prisoner Genzi. What are you doing here again? He didn't come again. Hand the key and teach Xiao Yu to open the door. Xiao Yu opened the door to the inner room and took out a key. After trying it for a long time, she couldn't open it. Qin Tunger asked the Ben family again. Na Yu Xiao said. It's not that key. The key in my mother's cupboard is under the mattress. Xiao Yu scolded again. That whore, Dingzy Ding, won't come to someone else's house. She goes back and forth only to teach me. When I opened it, there was no fur coat in the cupboard. I'm waiting for you to look for this green trimmed leather coat. So he opened it and took it out. Wu Dejinzi looked at it under the lamp and said, what a fur coat, Wu Niang. Why do you say something bad about it? It's a yellow dog skin. There are yellow dog skins there. Just wear one with me, Yu Nyang said. It's a new leather jacket, but the front chest is a little old. Tomorrow, I will replace it with two gold jackets all over the ground, and it will be fine. He has this leather jacket and wears it to chant Buddha's name, so he put it on for him. Seeing how generous he was, Jin Lian didn't say anything. Wu Yin'er said, I will leave my mother's home here and go to her home. Yu Nyang said, the ground is wet. Let's go to Sister Yin's house. You've already seen the gift in your head. I'll take you home with my servant, because he called Diane. You take me to Sister Yin's house. Jingji said, Mom, Diane and I will go together. Yu Nyang said, that's fine. You and him will send him off together. With a sigh of relief, Jingji sent him off with Diane. Wu Yunyang and everyone came home. Pin Jinlian said on the way, Sister, you said we would send him to his house every time. Why don't you go? Yunyang said with a smile, you are just a child. I'm trying to trick you, so you believe it. Double quotes. Where is the Lichun courtyard? You and I can send it there, Jin Lian said. It's like a man came to the courtyard for prostitution. But his wife never went there to look for her. Did she make a pot of porridge when she found her? Yunyang said. You wait until his father goes to the courtyard tomorrow and you try to look for him. If he fails, he will be taken away as a fan. Look at you. The two of them talked and walked to the east street. Here, everyone comes to kowtow. When the master saw Ximon King entering Li Zhao's room, he hid in the upper room with Xiao Yu. Yu Xiao came in and said 10,000 blessings. And Xiao Yu said to Yu Xiao, my mother sent a boy to ask for a leather coat. Yu Xiao ate it. Her face turned red and she said, what a shame, you little slut. Why do you look so stupid? Why are you having sex with us if they don't invite you? Xiao Yu said, I don't want that slut to invite you. The master advised from the side, Sister, just given every word, your father is listening in the room. I'm afraid you ladies will come home and have some tea to serve you. Just as he was talking, he saw the piano boy carrying him into a felt bag. Yu Xiao asked, is mother here? Qin Tong said, whenever mother comes, she is let in by Kiao's mother-in-law at the door to have a drink, so she will get up soon. The two were speechless. Zui came over, kowtowed to Yunyang, and met with Yulu and the other three. Yunyang asked, where is his father? After hearing this, Yunyang was speechless for a long time. He scolded, what the hell are you doing for nothing? Who taught him to come here? Li Jiar said, I asked his father before he came here. Yunyang said, ask him. You have something to advocate for. Your temple opened early on the 15th day of the lunar month. and some little ghosts were released. The great master said, "My grandma, the four sisters who painted pictures, still call them imps." Yoon said, "Only half of the painting was painted. What's the use of letting it go out for nothing?" To feed others, Meng Yulu saw that Yoon said it was not good, so he left first. I talk to people and laugh, but there is a constellation in the palace of disaster. And there is often some chirping. "Thanks to your good intentions, I will be better in the future." He may live to be 70 years old. The mother-in-law wrote the hexagram again, made a divination with the spirit turtle, and moved it to live in the palace of life. I uncovered the second hexagram post, which showed a woman with 3 men. The first one was dressed as a business traveler in a small hat. All your life, the master is happy and admires you, and you are doted on by your husband. Just one thing, please forgive me, dealing with others for the sake of beauty is very unpopular. You will spend your whole life standing up for others and suffering from others. Yoon said, "Do you think this grandma will have children in the future?" The mother-in-law said, "It's good to have a daughter. I don't dare to promise it. If you talk about longevity, you will have it." Yoon said, "You were trying to predict this grandma, Sister Lee? You and her are the same as each other." Lee Ping-er smiled and said, "I am a sheep." The mother-in-law said, "If you are a lamb, you will be 7 years old this year and born in the year of Shenwei." She has been rich and prosperous throughout her life. She has food and clothing. The husbands she recruits are all noble people. She is kind and righteous, and does not care about gold, silver, wealth, and silk. One more thing. You, old man, will be blessed by the stars this year. There will be a disaster of blood and light. Please be careful not to see any crying in July and August. After saying that, Lee Ping-er took out 5 cents and 1 piece of silver from his sleeve. Yoon said, "We just sent the master out to divine the turtle divination this time. You came a step earlier and taught him to divine with you." Jin Liang shook his head and said, "I don't predict him. As the saying goes, fortune is calculated, but fortune is not calculated. I think the Taoist priest said the day before yesterday that my life was short." What? The person who said it had a shadow in his heart. "I will die in the street tomorrow, buried on a dead-end road. It's a coffin if it falls in the ditch." After that, he and Yoon returned to the back together. Exactly. Everything is not planned by man. Life is arranged by fate.
Alright, this part of the story ends here.
Want to know what happened next? Let's listen to the breakdown next time.